Welcome to HCN Evening News Bulletin with me, Clinton D'Souza, and here are the top stories. Looks like Goa is not only famous for its beaches and food, but is also quite famous for its road condition. In today's story, we will show you some of the roads which are damaged, and these roads were recently built while some are under construction. Even the Atal Setu bridge have seen potholes, while the route from Porvorim up to Perne will give you a good bumpy ride. Watch.
This is the national highway. Tumi poila jalar, the people that are facing inconvenience on this road. This road is in such a bad condition. Now main thing is we have to ask who was given this contract of this road. Because the PWD minister keeps saying that everything is okay, 300 crores is sanctioned for the road. This was announced before the lockdown, the main lockdown happened. And you can see what is the present situation right now. This is not my problem. This is people's problem, Goenkhana's problem. People who are coming down as tourists here. This is like right from the bridge. You come down and this is the inconvenience that people have to face every day. People moving out of Panjim, people entering into Panjim, and this is capital city. You have built big bridges. You can see this road is a mess. Previous few days you can see there was a full traffic jam on this road. So why are public being faced such inconvenience? We as hashtag also keep voicing up, but it's just not my issue. आमचे लोकांचे issue there. लोकांक त्रास जाता. So PWD minister, who is the contractor of this road? This was under section also. So who is handling this? Is anyone getting out of their office and checking? कोण बाहेर स्वतः ऑफिसाच्यान चेक करता की बाबा लोकांक प्रॉब्लेम जाता हे रोड सारखे करपाक जाय. This should have been done before the rain, and even if it was done before the rains, you can see the quality of the work that is being done right now. So आमचे लोकांचे पैसे public funds who येता ते आमकां विचारपाक जाय. You can see पळयात previously also an ambulance passed by, a patient is inside. So much of inconvenience that public goes through. It's frustration. How much do we shout? How much do we fight? So we have to hold the people in charge, the contractors mainly, whether who's taken what commission and what quality of work is being put into this kind of road. So PWD minister, don't give fake promises because they are not blind. We are witnessing this day in, day out. People's backs are breaking. People are meeting with accidents because of bad roads. You all have the funds. You all are in power. Yet people are facing this. Please look into this. Don't give fake promises.
One of our viewers even filmed a video which shows you how bad the road is. The locals from Seraulim and Benaulim in Salsette have won a green victory from the National Green Tribunal. The residents moved the NGT against the manner in which the balanced stretch from Margao National Highway Western Bypass Road through the villages of Seraulim to Benaulim is being constructed. The locals stated that in spite of their fervent demands, the stretch is being built on the embankment, which has led to the blockage of fields and closure of all outlets. This has resulted in polluted water of Sal affecting the fields, crops and coconut trees. The Pune bench of NGT in an order passed on June 22nd stating road construction should not result in destruction of biodiversity. It has directed the formation of the 10-member Committee of Environmental and Biodiversity Specialists to look into the issues raised in the matter filed by Royala Fernandez, a former Sarpanch, regarding the road construction.
Good evening and welcome, Royala Fernandez, for joining us on this special interview a day after one would call a victory at the National Green Tribunal, where the NGT has taken cognizance of the complaint of citizens, which of course you filed the application in the NGT. The issue at hand is very serious and important. It is basically a citizen's challenge to the construction of the one leg of the Western Bypass, from Serauli to Benaulim. to the Varka Road section, actually, from Sarauli to Benali to the Varka Road point of that road. So the basic challenge that you made before the National Green Tribunal was that this construction of this western bypass is actually going, the manner of construction is actually going to affect a lot of Khazan lands, wetlands, coconut plantations, and so on and so forth. Because since this construction is happening on embankments as opposed to stilts, it is actually clogging up the natural flow of the water, leading to a lot of polluted water from getting into the fields. You've also mentioned that there is one particular survey number 140 where one stretch of the bypass passes through one particular property, and a lot of the polluted water of the Sal is being pumped back through that property into the Sal again. Of course, the whole issue is complicated, but for the sake of our viewers, if you could just explain to them the background of this fight and how the court decision makes you feel confident of taking this fight forward.
Thank you, Sujoy, for having us today here to share the concerns and the views, grievances of the people of Banauli. Banauli, if you have seen, every monsoon, your newspapers, entire media has covered that it gets at this very place where I am. I know it's dark right now here, but it gets flooded. The entire place is a catchment area. It is a river, it's a floodplain of River Sal, and the water which accumulates here is just not the rainwater which comes here, but it is the water right from Verna. It is such an integrated system that we have water coming right from Betalbati, Verna, Nuve, through the different streams and the nallas and through the fields, finally coming to Banauli, and where it again later discharges into River Sal. There have been incidents of drowning here. There have been incidents where people have been evacuated, and this is all reported in news. Now, somewhere in 2016 is where the Western Bypass proposal finally landed at the Panchayat, where people's concerns were asked. And at the Gram Sabha, it was decided that people decided that we want an elevated road or a flyover or stilts. Because without having even a bucket of earth coming into this land, we are already getting flooded. And we believe by the simple basic principle that water seeks its own level, if the flyover or the Western Bypass comes on embankments, it will lead to massive destruction. We don't see that it is only at this area that the water level would increase, but we see how the farmlands which are further up near Dando ground, if you all have known about Dando ground,
yes,
there are fields below that area in Adsuli, which can get inundated, and even the crops there, the farmers there will get affected.
Raila, there's one line from the order which I find very encouraging for citizens and environmentalists, and it basically says the construction of the road should be consistent with the principle of sustainable development. And I would like to quote one more line from the NGT order: construction should not result in the destruction of biodiversity.
Absolutely.
These are two very important lines from the order. So now the thing is, as we all know, the order has directed the formation of a 10-member committee consisting of the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority, the Biodiversity Board, and the Pollution Control Board, and all the other different agencies, and they are going to inspect. What is expected out of that inspection? Do you feel that their inspection and report will further arm you to go back to the court, and for the NGT rather, the tribunal to pass a final favorable order directing the construction to happen only through stilts?
Definitely, I'm positive, because they have very specifically stated that sustainable development is what we are looking at. In fact, even in our correspondence, we have stressed, time and again stressed, that it is sustainable development is what we are looking for. We are not against the Western bypass. We are not stopping the construction. We are only demanding and requesting that it has to be elevated, it has to be on stilts. I can understand cost factor is there, but at what cost are you going to do a construction, and then later are you going to spend more to see the repercussions of the damage which is done? Environment for me is the survival of this planet. If you do not save your environment, there is no future for us. Our entire existence is because of the nature. Otherwise, we'll be in an artificial world.
Thank you, Raja. Thank you so much. Thank you for cutting you short, because time is short and we wanted to carry the entire interview on our HCN channel and the paper. All the best, and wish you and all the residents who are locals who are fighting for this all the very best to take this cause further.
I would like to make a mention today that this is a children's movement, and I am told by my lawyer, Advocate Barbara Andrade, that the NGT panel, which was hearing the petition, were touched that this movement is led by children. And that is what's going to make a difference. And definitely, we are going to be successful in getting stills for Banauli.
That is great to hear. All the best for you and all the children who are fighting this cause. Thank you very much.
Today, in this special story, we will take you to a family at Talegaon who is complaining against the government's Gaya Aadhaar policy. Sophia De Mello said that in spite of applying and complaining for nearly 6 months, she hasn't received any amount through this scheme. Sophia and her husband have urged the Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant, to help them. They are helpless.
We are going to a very financial problem, very tough time. We are living in water house, a very small house, no money, help, nothing. And a grey Aadhaar, that scheme of mine is not coming properly. The money 6 months has not come, and now this 2 months also it's not come. What we are supposed to do, what we are supposed to eat, and what we are supposed to do. And my husband also is going to a very tough time. He also doesn't have a money help. Whatever he does, that he takes out his days. His original handicap, physical handicap. And I am handicapped because my knee got damaged to an accident. So I can't walk, I can't work, I can't do anything. So dear friends, please tell me what to do now. What shall I do? Please CM, I need you all to help me. Help we both and give us our money properly, the scheme give properly. The 6 months money is not come. What to do now? Please help us.
मगे बायलेक आधा दिवचं पण अब त्रासाला पडले सर उपकार मागता श्यामाकडे आणि तसे आमचे बाप भयण हँडीकॅप पळय गरीब तांकां तुमी घालचे सर म्हणून.
See sir, voting time you all come for voting. Then we vote for you all. And you all say you all will do this, you all will do that, you all will do that. But in the end, now when the time we are left to help us, nobody is helping us. The first wave also, lockdown you all did not help us. And now this wave also, we are going to a very tough time. What shall we do, sir? What shall we do? Please Sam, please help us. We need your help.
Goa's AIBA certified International Technical Officer and Vice President of Goa Boxing Association, Lenny De Gama, is the only evaluator from Asia to be a part of this championship this year, the rest being either from the United States or Europe. De Gama's job at the championship will be evaluate the referees and judges as per their performance in the ring during the bouts and to check on the manipulation. The monitored championship will have one boxing ring with only 2 evaluators and 1 observer. Watch to what Lenny has to say on his new responsibility at the Tokyo 2020.
I was a boxer. Then I was a national referee, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. Then I was an Asian referee judge. Thereafter, when Iber took over, I passed my refereeing judging 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. In 2010, I became an international technical official having passed the test in Kazakhstan. 2012, I was promoted after my exam to be an evaluator of the referee judges. And very recently, in 2018, I am not only an evaluator, but I am also an observer. An observer is above the evaluator. I have been an observer at the World Youth Championship. Okay, I have been an evaluator and observer at 2 of the Olympic qualifiers. One in Africa, Dakar, Africa, and at London, UK. So probably that has built up to my selection. Now I will tell you what is the job of an evaluator and observer. A evaluator assesses the referee. First and foremost, we guide and motivate the referees and judges appointed for a certain championship and tell them what are the uniform signals, what is right and what is wrong, how to judge and how to referee. We revised the whole thing again, having a full 1-day seminar with a presentation of rules, regulations and uniform signals. Thereafter at the championship, every day during the championship, one sits as a referee evaluator, one sits as a judge evaluator, and he judges the judges as per their scoring. We only use 3-star referee judges for very major championships like World Championship or the Olympics, and the best. So thereafter, after they finish the bout, if they are a little below the mark, we call them to our table and we explain to them their mistakes and motivate them. As to the referee evaluation, we watch their movement, their dress, their discipline, how they command, whether they interact with the boxers. They should not be touching the boxers. Every movement of theirs is video recorded and totally watched. This is not all. We also watch for manipulation. Okay. You know, at the Rio Olympics, there was a lot of manipulation. And 36 referee judges were suspended and have been under suspension till now. So we do not want this sort of things to happen. We want transparency and neutrality. We want the best boxer to win, the best boxer to become a champion, and that is what we are there for. So, apart from briefing them after the bout, we also brief them next morning at a general briefing. Then the evaluators and observers sit with the technical delegate and inform him which are the referees and judges who are up or down, who have been manipulating, who needs to be rested, suspended or demoted. It is as tough as that. And at the Olympics, if anybody is caught manipulation, there and there the luggage will come from their room and they'll be given their ticket home. At the end of the championship, each one of us put up a report put up a report evaluating and assessing each referee and judge. So this report facilitates their promotion or their assessment for next championships. Now at the championship, IBA has put up a new rule that anyone can protest, any team can protest on a wrong decision. And that is a time when the evaluators and the observer, they form the jury. They form the jury for the bout review. They go and watch the bout in slow motion, score the bout all over again, and if the bout happens to be on the other side, then the decision is immediately overturned. So this is the job of an evaluator. It is very tough. In the night, we sit down and analyze every bout, every round. And if one thinks that it is a holiday to Tokyo or to a holiday to every championship, no. We sit down till around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, analyzing all the 20 bouts of the day, every round of the bout. So it's 3 rounds, 20 bouts, and it's really, really tough.
24th June is a big day in Goa. This day, Goa celebrates the feast of Saint John the Baptist, which is also known in Goa as Sanjuang. This year, due to the ongoing pandemic, Sanjuang was celebrated within the families and neighbors. Major celebrations weren't seen this year, but we will show you how some celebrated Sanjuang this year.
Te bandeirão São João te fez no nome uma olha ilhão
जेव्हा बाप्तिस्ताची परब करता व्हडा मनान ताका आमी रेस्पेक्ट दिता ताणें आमचेर कृपेची बेस्तां घातल्या वाड्यान शांती काय दिल्या मागता देवा कडेन जशें आमकां दिलां तें आख्या संवसाराक दिवचें आमी आयज वर्सान वरोस ही परब तेजी कोत्ता दुनिया देवा कडेन मागता अशेंच आमकां सांगाता सगळ्या भावांक एकवटान दवरूंक आनी खुशाल बरीन ओ सांजांव सुबरूंक विवा सांजांव विवा सांजांव
आमचो ग्रुप हा एली बॉयज म्हणून आमी हिंगा वर्सान वरोस आमी सांजांव वता बट आमचो अशी जाल्यार व्हडलो ग्रुप जाता मात हे पाटी आमी आसूं आमच्या फ्रेंडांक सांगला बाबा घरा कडेच रावन करचें तुमकां कितें आमी सगल्यांक व्हरोन आमी सगल्यांक फ्रुट्स हे ते दिलेले आहा कित्याक आमच्या ग्रुपाक कोणाक सोडूंक ना मेंबरांक आनी एक म्हणटा ते आमचे आमी हिंगा लागूसलेच आमचे वाडायले शेताचे वाडायले आमी आमच्या गांवचेच आमी भायले कोण न्हू आनी आमचे खुबशे आमचे ग्रुपाचे मेंबर भायरूय आहा इवन मेरशेन आहा तालिगांव आहा ओल्ड गोवा खूब कडेन आहा बट आमी कोणाक आपोवंक ना बिकॉज ऑफ द पॅन्डेमीक सिट्युएशन कित्याक केसी वाडत वयता सो तेका लागून आमी बारीकशे आमच्या मदेंच रावन आमी सेलिब्रेट करपाक आमी अशें चिंतलां.
For the final story, the government to amend petition filed against acquittal of senior journalist Tarun Tejpal in the rape case. The senior advocate Kapil Sibal represented Tejpal in the High Court, Goa. Well, that's all we have in today's news bulletin. For more news and updates, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at HCN Goa and also follow us to stay updated on our alerts on Twitter and Facebook at OHerald Goa. Until then, stay safe and take care.